It's your boy Brendan Ortiz here, and you're tuned into the response here on Brendan Ortiz YouTube channel and IG Live TV. I'm going to put this on YouTube, so please listen to T.S. Madison as she goes ahead and give this monologue.
I'm scared when you get there because I know a lot of y'all have that internalized homophobia, transphobia, and you gonna do what you need to do to fuck me up. So I'm gonna fight for you to get there. Is you gonna kill me?
Like I said this evening, guys, we are talking about sexuality and children. I felt like this was a topic that needed to be spoke about because I had a lot of different opinions. People gave a lot of different opinions in regards to what sexuality is and how does an individual actually identify with their own sexuality. And you hear when I say identify with their own sexuality. Sexuality has nothing to do with an actual activity of sex. It has a lot to do with your actual sexuality. It has to do with your inner self, your identity, who you are as a person. And so, no matter if you're born male or born female, you will feel different. I, for myself, some days I have feminine ways, some days I have masculine ways. But do I demasculate myself because I'm a man and I should be more masculine, I should actually be macho? I don't think so. Anywho, guys, so tonight I have a panel of guests. I have a special guest as well. My panel is going to start with Chauncey C. and also Noella Faye. So I'm going to bring on Noella Faye right now. Hey, Noella.
Hey.
So we had technical difficulty, guys, but we are here, and I am so happy that God provided this because I honestly, the reason why we were going to use the sponsor's IG is because I was locked out of my IG. And look at that.
God says otherwise.
Right. So I'm going to continue to bring on some more of the panel. If you can go ahead and introduce yourself, Noella. You are Noella Faye. She is the author. She is a CEO of
Sister Lady Friend Publishing Company.
Sister Lady Friend Publishing Company.
That's right. And within that company, we are all about everyone. We don't choose a field to be in. We are humans first. And I joined that because that's what I want to join as a human. I think right now, especially in 2020 and beyond, we have become obsessed with titles. We have to label it. We have to tell it and be victims for it to be heard.
Right.
Do that over here. We're not victims. We are not survivors. We are warriors because those battles are going to keep coming and keep coming. So, hey, the response, and we live, ain't we?
We live. Okay, I'm going to bring on my next guest, my next panel, which is my moderator, Miss Chauncey C. Oh, Chauncey needs to update her version of Instagram. So I have to end.
We'll wait. It takes like 2 seconds.
Okay, so girl, update your Instagram, boo.
So
I'm gonna bring on Katrina. This is just a hot mess this evening. They are trying us. They were bringing on Katrina, the lovely neurologist, and my friend, the CEO and creator of T-Girls and T-Boys, Teas and
oh my God, that's
Campaign.
So
this was like 20, 30 years ago, girl.
I feel like it. Hey, good evening, everyone. Hey, Chauncey. How are you? Good evening. Good evening.
I'm good.
Hey, everyone out there listening and watching. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining. So we're going to get right into it. I happened to my Instagram. But we're going to get right into it. I don't know what's going on with Instagram. This is my first time doing this panel of people. We do have a couple of individuals coming on tonight. So like I stated in our thing, we're going to have people jumping in and out of the Instagram live, guys. We're going to start off. Everything is, like I stated in my intro, there is a lot of confusion when it comes to sexuality. It comes to a point where people are confusing sexuality and thinking of it having to do with an actual sexual activity. And
only know about love. You know, I come from a family of love. I come from love. And so me not know, I don't know what that is. My daughter could tell me she coming home with a green elephant. What kind of food does the elephant eat? You know, let me get to know the elephant. You know, I want to understand. I want to talk to them, and I want to get to know these kind of things, because it is something that I don't know. I still have I have small children still. I have a 1-year-old, I have a 7-year-old, I have an 11-year-old, I have a 15-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a 24-year-old. And so the age ranges of my children, you know, at any time somebody could come home and say something to me that, you know, I just personally don't feel like it should be on Front Street. Like, as a child, if I have an 11-year-old son and he comes home and tells me, Mommy, I don't like girls, I like boys, and this is what I want to be as, my son and I will definitely have to do a whole lot of talking. We will have to do a whole lot of personal counseling. I wouldn't put my son, I'm not going to say I wouldn't allow him to be himself, but I wouldn't, it's certain things that we would have to tone just as a mother. That's any age. You're going to curve your children's social media. You should be watching what they post. You should be watching what they say. And so I feel like that should come with any child, not just somebody's child who wants to come out, or, you know, who likes the same sex, or whatever the situation is. I just feel like it has to be something right. You can't live in misery to make other people happy. You can't do that. And so my thing is if you're a parent, it's like, why you want to see your kids miserable? They're miserable. You know, and if you see something that's making them miserable, we as parents need to do something to try to fix it.
I agree. That's so true, because what's the alternative, right?
Right.
So I'm not going to accept my child. I don't accept this homosexuality. I don't accept that you're transgender. So they're either going to be digging in their heels, and they're going to be like, well, then I'm out. And then you're going to be like, well, you're not living in my house like this. And then they're going to be homeless. And there's a chance they may get into sex work. They may get into prostitution. They may have to turn a few tricks. You know what I'm saying? They may end up in drugs. So what are we looking at here? Or they could end up